This is what most of us are taught about becoming rich. Go to a good school, get a good job, save your paycheck, spend less, invest a portion of your income consistently, and then wait for a very long time. On the surface, this advice sounds reasonable. Don't waste money, work hard, be responsible, invest for the long term. None of that is wrong. In fact, for many people, those are necessary habits. But in the Millionaire Fastlane, author MJ DeMarco asks an uncomfortable question. Does that path really make you rich? Or does it simply train you to wait slowly for the rest of your life? The main message of this book is not simply get rich fast. A better way to understand the book is this. Do you truly want to become wealthy? Or have you accepted a life where freedom only comes after you are old? This question matters because the traditional formula for wealth depends heavily on time. You work through your 20s. You work through your 30s. You work through your 40s. You work through your 50s. You keep saving. You keep waiting. You keep postponing. And then, sometime in your 60s, people tell you that maybe now you can finally become free. But DeMarco challenges this idea. If the price of becoming rich is giving away most of your youngest, healthiest, and most energetic years, is that really a good deal? Of course, saving matters. Investing matters. Financial discipline matters. The book is not saying that saving and investing are useless. The problem is believing that this is the only path to wealth. DeMarco divides the road to wealth into 3 different paths. The first is the sidewalk. The second is the slow lane. The third is the fast lane. These are not just financial strategies. They are ways of seeing life, ways of using time, ways of creating income, and ways of approaching freedom. Let's begin with the sidewalk. A person on the sidewalk lives without a real financial plan. Money comes in and money goes out. If there is not enough money, they borrow. If income rises, spending rises with it. The present feels more important than the future. The problem with the sidewalk is not just that someone earns too little. The deeper problem is that they have no control over money. One unexpected expense can shake their life. One lost source of income can create immediate anxiety. From the outside, there may be a nice car, nice clothes, and an attractive lifestyle. But underneath, there is often financial pressure and hidden fear. The core problem of the sidewalk is this. There is no structure for building wealth. Then comes the slow lane. The slow lane looks much more responsible than the sidewalk. It can look disciplined. It can look stable. It can look mature. The slow lane formula is familiar. Get a good job, work consistently, earn a salary, spend less, save and invest, trust compound interest, and wait for decades. This method is not bad. The problem is that it is slow, and it depends too much on things outside your control. Your income depends on your employer. Your time belongs to your job. Your asset growth depends on market returns. Your freedom is pushed far into the future. And the most important problem is this. In the slow lane, most people earn money by selling their time. If you work 1 hour, you get paid for 1 hour. If you stop working, your income stops. If you want to earn more, you usually have to work more hours, get promoted, or increase your salary. Of course, a good career, a high income, and stable investing can be valuable. But DeMarco's point is this. The speed of your wealth is still tied to your time. And this is where one of the most important questions of the book appears. Are you making money? Or are you selling your time? This question is uncomfortable because many people are already working very hard. They are not lazy. They are not irresponsible. They wake up early. They go to work. They attend meetings. They answer emails. They take care of their families. And with whatever energy is left, they try to learn something new. But somehow, their life does not seem to change very much. Why? From the perspective of this book, the reason is simple. Working hard and building wealth are not the same thing. If your hard work is directly tied to your time, your income has a limit. A day has only 24 hours. You only have one body. Your energy is limited. This is why DeMarco introduces the Fastlane. The Fastlane does not simply mean start a business. It does not mean that everyone should quit their job tomorrow and become an entrepreneur. The core of the Fastlane is creating a structure where income is separated from your time. Instead of earning only when you personally work, you build a system, product, service, platform, piece of content, or asset that can deliver value beyond your own hours. There are several important words here: control, scale, leverage, and time separation. The Fastlane is about building something you can control, allowing it to deliver value to many people, and making sure the result is not limited only by your personal time. Let's look at a simple example. One person is paid by the hour. Their income is tied to their time. If they want to earn more, they must work more. Another person builds software that many people can use, or creates a product that solves a real problem, or builds a service system that can be sold repeatedly, or designs a business structure that can operate even when they are not personally doing every task. Both people may work hard, but the structure that produces their results is different. The first person sells time. The second person builds a system that carries value. That is the difference this book wants us to see. Now, before we continue, if this message is staying with you, remember rebootlifenow.com. Reboot Life Now is a space for people who want to change their lives by writing down their real problems, choosing the most important one, and beginning again through small actions. You can find more stories and a 12-week life transformation program at rebootlifenow.com. Now let's return to the Millionaire Fastlane. DeMarco does not define wealth only as the amount of money you have. Real wealth is connected to freedom. Freedom of time, freedom of choice, freedom of movement, and the freedom to stop living in a way you no longer want to live. In this book, money is both a goal and a tool. It does not mean that money is everything. But when money is lacking, choices become limited. Time becomes trapped, and it becomes much harder to leave a life you no longer want. So what is required to enter the Fastlane? One of the most important tools in the book is the SENSE framework. SENSE stands for 5 conditions: need, entry, control, scale, time. The first condition is need. A Fastlane business does not begin only with what you personally want to do. It begins with a market need. Many people think about business by asking questions like these: what do I like? What do I want to sell? What idea sounds exciting to me? Those questions can matter, but this book asks a different question first. What do people actually want? What real problem already exists? What pain can I reduce? What result can I create for someone else? Money does not appear by force. Money moves when value moves. When you solve someone's problem, satisfy a real desire, or make someone's life better, money begins to move. So the first condition of the Fastlane is not simply, do I like this? It is closer to, do people actually need this? The second condition is entry. Entry means the barrier to enter a market. A market that anyone can enter may seem attractive because it is easy to start, but that is exactly why it can become dangerous. When entry is too easy, too many people enter. Competition becomes intense, differentiation becomes difficult. Prices drop, profit becomes harder to protect. This book warns us to be careful of paths that are too easy. If everyone can start the same thing quickly, you need to ask whether it is really a good opportunity. A barrier to entry does not always mean advanced technology or huge capital. Skill can be a barrier. Trust can be a barrier. Brand can be a barrier. Distribution can be a barrier. Customer understanding can be a barrier. Execution can be a barrier. Consistency can be a barrier. System design can be a barrier. The third condition is control. If you do not control the structure that creates your income, it is difficult to control your freedom. For example, imagine a business that depends entirely on one platform. If the algorithm changes, income can drop. If the account is suspended, access to customers can disappear. If the platform changes its fees or policies, the entire business model can become unstable. This does not mean you should never use platforms. The problem is giving all control to someone else. The same can be true with a job. Even with a high salary, if the decision over your income belongs entirely to your employer, your control is limited. The fast lane values assets and systems that you can control. Your customers, your brand, your product, your distribution, your business structure. The fourth condition is scale. This is extremely important. No matter how valuable your work is, if you can only serve one person at a time, and your personal time must be directly involved every time, your income has a ceiling. Scale means your value can reach more people. It means one unit of effort can create a larger result. It means outcomes can repeat without you personally doing every part again and again. For example, a local one-person service business may be a good business, but its scale may be limited. On the other hand, online products, software, media, education systems, platforms, and distributable products can potentially reach a much larger market. This does not mean everyone has to build a massive company, but from the Fastlane perspective, you must ask these questions. Can this grow beyond my personal time? Can this reach more people? Can value continue to be delivered even when I am not working at that exact moment? The fifth condition is time. This is at the heart of the fast lane. If a business only works when you are constantly working, it may not be very different from a job. It may look like a business on the outside, but in reality, it may be another job you created for yourself. Of course, in the beginning, everyone must work directly. Systems are not automatic from day one. But the important question is whether you can eventually build a structure that operates without your constant involvement. The book may seem like it is simply telling people to start a business. But at a deeper level, it warns us about creating a job disguised as a business. The real question is this: if I stop, does everything stop? Or can the system I built continue to deliver value? Now we need to clear up one misunderstanding. The Millionaire Fastlane is not a book about getting rich easily. Because of the title, people can misunderstand it. The word Fastlane may sound like a shortcut, but what DeMarco means by the Fastlane is not easy. It may be faster, but it is not easy. In fact, the book describes a very difficult path. You must build something, solve problems, understand customers, fail, try again, create systems, listen to the market, and keep going. The slow lane may look stable, but it is slow. The fast lane may be faster, but it is difficult and risky. This difference matters. The fast lane does not mean you suddenly become rich because you got lucky. It means building a controllable structure of value creation and expanding it. So the message of this book is not simply quit your job. A more realistic question is this: am I using some of my time and energy today to build something that could eventually free me from selling my time? You can begin thinking in fast lane terms, even while working a job. You can build a small product. You can create content. You can study customer problems. You can learn a valuable skill. You can run small experiments. You can observe what problems people are already willing to pay to solve. The important thing is not to throw everything away immediately. The important thing is to know which road you are on. Am I on the sidewalk? Am I in the slow lane? Or am I beginning to build a small seed of the fast lane? And there is an even more important question. Is my effort becoming an asset over time? Or does it disappear every day as labor that must be repeated tomorrow? This question matters. Some efforts earn money today and then disappear. Other efforts remain. A piece of writing can remain. A product can remain. A customer list can remain. A brand can remain. A skill can remain. The fast lane is about building these kinds of structures that remain. Another powerful idea in the book is the shift from consumer to producer. Most of us are trained as consumers. We watch videos. We use apps. We buy products. We use services. We respond to ads. We follow trends. But the people who build wealth often stand on the other side. They create the videos people watch. They build the apps people use. They make the products people buy. They design the services people depend on. They create the platforms where people gather. Consumers spend money. Producers create value and receive money. Of course, all of us are consumers too. But if your entire life stays only in the consumer perspective, it becomes hard to see how wealth is created. Fastlane thinking begins to ask different questions in everyday life. Why does this product sell? What problem does this service solve? What desire does this app capture? Why does this brand earn trust? What inconvenience still exists in this market? Once you begin asking these questions, the world looks different. Before, you only saw things to buy. Now you begin to see the structure of money flow. But we also need balance here. Because the message of this book is powerful, it can also be misunderstood. Businesses can fail. Markets can be cold. A good idea does not mean people will pay for it. Building a scalable business is not easy, and not everyone can take the same level of risk. So it would be dangerous to interpret this book as quit your job and start a business immediately. A better interpretation is this: understand how time and money are connected in your life, and whenever possible, build assets and systems that can make you more free over time. When you see it this way, the book becomes much more realistic. It is not telling you to quit tomorrow. It is telling you to look honestly at where your current path is taking you. Will your current road still require you to sell your time in the same way 10 years from now? Or will it give you more options 10 years from now? This question matters. We often think that if we earn more money, we will become free. But if income rises and spending rises with it, if time becomes more trapped, and if responsibilities become heavier, freedom may move even farther away. This is why, for DeMarco, wealth is not simply a high income. Real wealth is choice. Being able to work when you choose. Being able to say no when you need to. Being able to choose where and how you live to some degree. Being able to stop squeezing your life between payday and bills. That is closer to the kind of freedom this book is talking about. So, what can we actually do today? Before creating a huge business plan, we can first examine our current roadmap. What am I selling in order to earn money? Am I selling my time? Am I selling my skill? Am I selling value I created? Am I earning from a system I own? Second, we can look for real problems we can observe. What are people struggling with? Where are people wasting time? What do people want to make easier? What are people already paying for? Third, we can run small experiments. You do not need to build the perfect business from the beginning. You can test a small offer, create a small piece of content, try a small service, validate a small product idea. The important thing is not to become rich only in your imagination. The important thing is to make contact with the market. Do people respond? Do people show interest? Do people need this enough to pay for it? You have to face those questions in reality. Fourth, we can keep thinking about time separation. Can this be repeated? Can this be automated? Can someone else operate part of it? Can something created once be sold many times? Can customers increase without my personal time increasing at the same rate? Without these questions, even a business can become just another job. This book tells us something uncomfortable but important. Working hard may not be enough. That can sound harsh, but it can also be freeing, because maybe the reason your life has not changed is not simply that you are lazy or not good enough. Maybe you have been running hard, but the road itself is too slow. Maybe you have been making effort, but that effort has been trapped inside your time. Maybe you have been earning money, but not building a structure that creates freedom. Then the question changes. Not, how can I work longer? But, how can I make value work beyond my time? Not only, how can I save more? But, how can I create greater value and deliver it to more people? Not first, how can I become rich? But what problem can I solve? This is the most important shift the Millionaire Fastlane offers. Wealth is not only about collecting money, wealth is about value, control, scale, and time. If we had to summarize the message of this book in one sentence, it would be this: do not try to become rich only by selling your time. Build a structure where the value you create can expand beyond your time. Of course, this is not easy. You may fail. It may take time. You may not find the perfect idea at the beginning. But the question this book leaves us with is clear. Which road am I on right now? Am I walking the sidewalk, consuming each day, without a real plan? Am I in the slow lane, stable but waiting for freedom, far in the future? Or am I building even a small seed of the fast lane, something controllable, scalable, and capable of making me more free over time? You do not have to change your entire life today, but you can begin with one question. Is what I am building right now tying me more tightly to my time, or could it one day help free my time? When you ask that question seriously, the way you see money begins to change. The way you see work begins to change. The way you see opportunity begins to change. And maybe that moment is the first moment you begin moving into a different lane. If today's message was meaningful to you, visit rebootlifenow.com to find more stories and explore the 12-week life transformation program. And share your own story there as well. I will see you at rebootlifenow.com.